Hey, what's up everybody? It's Preston here with Citizen Response. Today I got a slightly different video for you. Usually I'm out shooting, I'm blazing it down, having a good time, training hard with my buddies. Today I want to do something a little bit different. I'm actually not shooting today. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a real story of something that happened to me, kind of an origin story, as probably explains as to why and how I got so invested into, concealed carry training, personal defense training, and why it's so important to me. So I thought it was about time that I share it with you guys. I'm very active over on Instagram, and I put up a poll like, man, is this something that you guys would want to hear about? And overwhelmingly, like, yes, people want to hear about these situations because, in the news you might hear all the time about the ones that go super bad, but you may not hear about all the instances and where the entire thing didn't go south, right? Where maybe it was a stalemate for both sides. So I kind of just want to give an overview of my story, what happened to me in my defensive situation where I had to use my pistol to not only save my life, but potentially save the life of someone else. So we're going to get right into it. I actually brought this folder and I'm drawing on it so I can explain to you because it's kind of a complicated situation. And I wish I had actors or something out to help me, but this is what I got. So I'm going to use this as a visual to help you understand the predicament that I was put in, and maybe you can think about what you would have done in the situation. I know people are going to leave in the comment section anyways about what they would have done in the situation, but please understand, guys, when you're really in the heat of it, everything seems to go out the window. And I'm going to get into that, about my mindset, what I was feeling and thinking at the time. I'm going to get into all of that, but please just listen to me, hear me out, and let me explain what happened to me and how I handled the situation. So essentially, I'm coming back from a formal event, and I've got my date with me, and I've got two friends in the back seat. We're about to get right back on the highway, and I'm not going to tell you what city it is in Texas, but it's my least favorite city in Texas now for this obvious reason. Pulling right off the highway, so it doesn't seem like it's a very sketch area. It doesn't seem like like a bad part of town. Obviously you want to be on alert regardless. But I didn't think I was putting myself in a bad situation, but that just goes to show you got to be ready because it could happen anywhere. So essentially, I pull over to fill up gas. So for the sake of the demonstration and the story, this is the gas pump, okay? This is my truck. This is just a horribly dry, it's not a truck, it's just an oval, but it's a truck. Okay, so I am right here. This X represents me. Sorry about the wind, can't control it, and I'm using the camera. I don't have a mic. But so here's me, right? So my date gets out from here and goes up to go to the bathroom, okay? So I'm just sitting here, filling up gas, no big deal. So one person right here, I put this question mark, I'll explain that in a sec. One person comes up right here, right behind me, just chatting. He looks like a homeless guy, no big deal. I assume he's gonna ask for money, but he just says hi, I say hi, and just kind of sit there. I'm not really in the mood to strike up a conversation, and neither is he apparently. So he just sits there and walks off after a few seconds. No big deal. At this point, no big deal. This is where the red flags and everything start to go off. So my date went up here. She comes running all the way back here. Not like a full-on sprint, but also not like a walk or a jog. Like that in between a jog, like that concerned huddle. Concerned huddle is what we're going to call it. So she comes over and she's frantic. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, hey, someone's following me. I think someone's following me. I'm like, okay, just breathe, all right? So I am, trying to figure out what's going on here. So I'm right here, she's right here. This crackhead, I say crackhead just as a catch-all term. Lord knows what kind of drugs this person was on. Definitely was not sober by any stretch of the imagination. I would presume maybe some kind of speed or meth based off of the presentation of the person, which it's really sad. Like, I'm not sitting here, I don't want anyone to make fun of that person or like that person. It's just really sad that people get in those situations, but that's beside the point. So this person comes around right here, and as you can see now, I've found myself in a bad funnel because I have this blocking any way out right here. I think potentially there's a person right here, and I can't go through my truck. Okay, so now we're both standing right here. This person comes around and pulls a knife, right? I mean, it all happens so fast. This happened to me 4 years ago, and I've debriefed and I've gone through so many people, run through the scenario, what happened with so many people. I try to keep the details vivid as much as I can for accuracy purposes. I don't remember if the person had a knife in their hand and just had it low where I couldn't see it, or if they like I don't remember that exact details, but I do remember very vividly the person had a knife and presented it. It wasn't hanging low, it was high, right up here, okay? So knife person right here, this distance between us, I mean, no more than an arm and a half length. I mean, it was very, very, very close, okay? So at this point, as I saw this person coming around, my survival instinct just, or whatever you want to call it, just kicked in. And a little bit of backstory so you understand, it is perfectly legal. I was not 21 at the time. It is perfectly legal for an 18-year-old to possess and keep a loaded pistol in their truck in Texas. It's 100% legal. I verified it with lawyers. It's fine. So don't go in the comment section telling me, oh, you committed a crime, because I didn't. I know it's legal. And I had my pistol under my seat. I kept it under there for the worst case scenario, the just in case, you know, and obviously it helped me in this situation. So as I see this person coming around, I go ahead and have my pistol in my hand. Now I have this little deal right here, this door looking thing. So to explain, I didn't immediately point the pistol at someone, because you can't just do that. You can't just point a gun at someone because you think that they might be a threat. They have to be an imminent threat to your life to be able to, you know, point a loaded weapon at them. And obviously I want to de-escalate the situation, evidently, and you'll come to understand that in a sec. So I had the pistol kind of hidden behind the door. The door was slightly cracked open and I had the pistol out of sight in the door. So at this time, the person did not see the pistol. Neither did my date at the time. So we're both standing here. I have her to my side because I'm thinking in my mind, I don't want to put her behind me because I remembered that someone else had been behind me. So I didn't know if this was some kind of dual, like, tag team thing that was about to go on. I didn't know. I obviously didn't want to put her in front of me because, like, I got to protect her. It's my job to protect her, okay? So I kind of have her awkwardly to the side. It is what it is. There's nowhere else. This is the death funnel. There's nowhere else for us to go. And the truck's filling up, so I can't just turn the key on and leave, you know, obviously. So we're standing here. I've got my pistol in my hand. This person comes up to me and is within, you know, like I said, about an arm and a half length distance. And if you know anything about knife attacks, that's nothing. Someone can cover that just like that, you know, a little bit of a hop and they're right on you. Okay, so this is very, very serious. I have my pistol in my hand, and once I see the knife, okay, once the knife comes up, instinctually, I hadn't had any training yet. I hadn't seen Craig Douglas thumb pectoral index. I had my pistol here, just intuitively. I didn't have it extended because I obviously didn't want that person to be able to grab it, but I wanted it here, you know, in case, so I could start shooting from right here. I very clearly remember I had my pistol right here, you know, and it's crazy now thinking back on it. Now I understand why I did that, but it's crazy that I instinctually did that. But I have the pistol right here, and I'm like, hey, I'm shielding my date with this arm, because if someone's going to take blows and someone's going to take the stabbings, it's going to be me. It's not going to be her. So I'm shielding her with this arm, and I'm like, hey, please back up, please. I'm not trying to have any problems. I don't want any issues. Please, just leave us alone. We'll get on our way. And at this point, this person, who obviously is not in their rational mind because they're on some combination of drugs, just starts screaming incoherently. I mean, they were saying, before they were kind of mumbling and making, you know, non-words, but at this point it became very evident that this person was not in their right mind, and it scared the living crap out of me. And I remember going through my head at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I might have to shoot someone. Like, I might have to pull the trigger and actually kill this person. And I know I give a little spiel at the end of all of my videos, but man, I really think the only answer to me is divine intervention, that I didn't have to shoot that person that day, because for some reason they just took off running. And I was just sitting there stunned. So I helped my date get back in the truck, go back around, made sure the safe scene was clear. And I went and drove on, and my life has continued on. And I just thank the Lord every day that I did not have to take that person's life, because hopefully that person got into a rehab center. Someone helped them, and they're, you know, going out and living their best life, and maybe they came to Christ and turned away from drugs. It's all I'd want for that person. So, you know, I'm sorry if it was a little jumbled, but it's a lot happened that day. And I kind of just wanted to share. I wanted to share so that, you know, if you have a family member that asks, why do you need a gun? Why do you need a concealed carry? Show them this video. You know, I'm just a young kid. I'm nobody. You know, I'm not an operator. I'm just a normal person. And I had to pull a gun to save my life from someone who was potentially going to stab me to death. You know, I just want to get it out. I want to share it. So thank you all for everyone who watched the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you maybe learned something. Stay safe and get out there and train.